Hello friends, in this video I will tell how routers can make unicast pairings with other routers when they are running EIGRP protocol. You can see that this topology we have 4 routers. R1 is having P2P connection to router 2 and point-to-point connection to router 3. Router 2, 3, 4 they have connection using a switch, so they are in the same broadcast domain. And if I talk about the configuration of the routers, that is straightforward. You can see that these are the interfaces configuration, and about the EIGRP configuration process ID we are using is 100. Okay, so that is EIGRP 100, which is the autonomous number, so we can say EIGRP process 100 as well. If we see the router 2 configuration, so we are enabling EIGRP on all the interfaces. On the router 3 configuration we are enabling EIGRP on all the interfaces. So I am gonna do the configuration of all the routers one by one, starting from router 1. Hello. Okay, now let's do the router 1 configuration. Router 2, router 3, and finally router 4. So all the routers are configured. When we go back to router 1, we can see the debugging is turned on. Let me turn it off using the uall command, which means undebug all. Okay, so if I do show IP EIGRP neighbors, we have got 2 neighbors, 2 peers on router 1 with this is router 2 and 13003 is router 3. That is the uptime 31 seconds, 39 seconds. So what I'm gonna do is debug EIGRP packets. When we use this command, we can see that routers are sending and receiving hellos every 5 seconds, okay, on these particular interfaces. So if I want to see that router 1 is talking to router 2 or router 3 using multicast address, I need to turn this command off, and to see the multicast address, the command will be debug IP packet. Using this command we will be able to see that source is 12002, which is router 2. Router 2 is sending us multicast address 224.0.0.10, and okay, so router 1 we are sending broadcast or multicast using this particular address, okay, out interface serial 1/0, and every time we are sending updates or receiving updates, the multicast address is being used. So if we want to stop this behavior and we want to use unicast instead of multicast, what we can do is go to the config mode. Under the EIGRP process we can use this command 12002, and that neighbor, that peer is available out via serial 1/0, and neighbor 13003 that is available via serial 1/1. okay, after entering these commands, show run section EIGRP, okay, So I have entered these two commands. You can see that from router 1 perspective, source is 13001, we are sending a unicast message to our peer 13003. Okay, so the destination is a unicast address, not a multicast address this time. So 12001 is also router 1. It's sending unicast message to router 2 12002. So router 1 has started sending unicast messages. However, if you look at these messages 13003, 12002, these are router 3 and router 2. They are still using the multicast address as destination. So when I do show EIGRP neighbors, there are no labels left, because either we need to use multicast on all the routers on the point-to-point connection, if I needs to be specific, otherwise I need to be using the neighbor command on both the sides. So in this case we don't have peering between router 1 router 2. Reason being, router 1 is sending unicast message and router 2 is sending a multicast message. So that's why we don't have any peerings on router 1. To restore the connectivity, get back to router 2. Over there specify neighbor command 12001, and that is discovering that neighbor is discoverable on serial 1/0. Go to router 3 and define the neighbor statement 13001 is discoverable via interface serial 1/1. So peering has come back up on router 1 as well. Show EIGRP neighbors. Okay, so we have got two neighbors, and if we see now, router 3 is sending us unicast message. We are sending unicast message to router 3. So likewise router 1 is sending unicast message to router 2, and router 2 is sending unicast message to router 1. So using the neighbor statement, show run section router. So using these commands, neighbor, IP address of the neighbor, and that neighbor is available on which interface. Using these commands we can convert from multicast to unicast. Thank you.